The leaked test results were devastating. 95% versus 33%. No contest, no ambiguity. The F-35 crushed the Gripen in every category. Canada's decision was made, but then something happened that nobody expected. Canadian pilots actually flew the Gripen, and everything changed. November 2025. Internal data obtained by Radio Canada showed that the Lockheed Martin F-35A Lightning II was the overwhelming top-scoring aircraft in Canada's fighter competition, outperforming Saab's Gripen E by a wide margin across all major capability categories. The numbers were brutal. The F-35 got a score of 95% on military capabilities, with a total of 57.1 points out of 60, while the Gripen E finished with a score of 33%, netting 19.8 points out of 60. Defense analyst David Perry of the Canadian Global Affairs Institute described the result as a winner by a mile, arguing that the capability assessment leaves no ambiguity about which aircraft the RCAF prefers. Mission performance? Roughly 97% for the F-35 versus 22% for the Gripen. Upgradability? The F-35 achieved 100% while the Gripen managed only 28%. Former Royal Canadian Air Force Lieutenant General Yvon Blondin stated, "When you compare them, they're not even close. The F-35 is the best fighter jet in the world, by far." Case closed. Canada would buy American. The evaluation was complete, except it wasn't, because those numbers told only half the story. Retired officer Charles Duff Sullivan argued the Air Force has long wanted the F-35 and that the criteria used in the 2021 competition favored the aircraft. The test measured what the F-35 was designed to do, not what Canada actually needed. Then pilots started flying the Gripen in real Arctic conditions, and the revelation was shocking. Gripen E can take off in strips of road that are only 16 meters wide and 500 meters long, and can land on a 600-meter-long road without any tail hook or brake chute. The short takeoff and landing ability also allows the fighter to fly from taxiways, small civil airfields, or highways. Marcus Want, a Gripen pilot who is vice president in charge of technology at Saab, said the aircraft is easier to maintain and operate than the F-35, notably in Arctic conditions. The maintenance difference was staggering. Refueling and rearming, including reloading the gun and attaching air-to-air missiles, can be done in less than 10 minutes with 1 enlisted technician and 5 conscript mechanics. There is no other fighter in the Western world that is certified to land on an 800-meter runway. It's only the Gripen that can do that. Suddenly, the test scores started looking very different. But the real shock came when Saab revealed their industrial offer. Swedish defense giant Saab informed the Canadian Armed Forces it could deliver on creating 12,600 jobs locally if Ottawa buys the 72 Gripen jets and 6 GlobalEye aircraft. Not just assembly jobs, real manufacturing. Production centers would be established in Ontario and Quebec. Technology transfer would be complete. The concern is that Washington will never approve the export license of the GE engine to Canada, which is why the Swedes are offering the British Rolls-Royce EJ230 engine instead. Canada wouldn't just own the jets, they would own the technology. No American veto power, no State Department approval required. Complete sovereignty. The Gripen's short takeoff and landing performance and design heritage in Sweden's BAS 90 concept give it the ability to operate from relatively short or austere runways, which increases the alliance's options for dispersed operations and resilience should main infrastructure be threatened. Sweden had just proven this capability. 6 Swedish JAS-39 Gripen fighters arrived at Keflavik Air Base, Iceland, on February 4, 2026, marking Sweden's first leadership of a NATO air policing rotation since joining the alliance in March 2024. The Gripen wasn't just surviving in the Arctic, it was thriving. Then the public polling dropped a bombshell. A majority of surveyed Canadians, 72%, back incorporating the Gripen into Canada's Air Force, either by maintaining a mixed fleet of F-35s and the Gripen, or by switching to the Swedish-made aircraft for future acquisitions. Only 13% of survey respondents said that Canada should stick with F-35s as its main fighter plane. The Pentagon panicked. Ambassador Hoekstra threatened that NORAD would need to be altered. American fighters would patrol Canadian airspace if Canada didn't comply. It backfired spectacularly. Even America's closest allies started questioning the F-35. Denmark's Rasmus Jarlov, head of the Danish Parliament's Defense Committee, described second thoughts over their F-35 order and has a message for Canada: choose another fighter jet. The leaked test scores that were supposed to kill the Gripen debate instead exposed something more fundamental. The evaluation criteria were designed to favor American priorities, not Canadian needs. Recently, former General Blondin has done several interviews saying Canada should only accept one squadron of F-35A fighters and the rest should be Gripen JAS-39E. The same general who once championed the F-35 had changed his mind. Why? Because real-world performance exposed what spreadsheets couldn't measure. The Gripen was designed for dispersed operations and survivability, and can operate from roads and short, austere runways, with ground crew requirements intentionally minimal, enabling survivability against preemptive strikes. This is Canada's Arctic reality. The F-35 requires a heavy, peacetime-style logistics network to function, suggesting that wartime resilience was not a priority in the evaluation. The F-35 scored 100% on upgradability. The F-35 is 5 years late on its Block 4 software and hardware update, while the Gripen evolved from the C/D to the E/F in just 12 years. A new fighter with larger airframe, more powerful engine, longer range, additional sensors, greater fuel capacity, larger wingspan, more hardpoints, redesigned landing gear, and an advanced electronic warfare suite. Want stated: it's built for a mission that we still don't know, and it's built for technology that we still haven't seen. One of the big capabilities right now is that it's so upgradable and updatable, so you can keep it relevant for a long time. Canada realized something profound. The best fighter on paper might not be the best fighter for Canada's actual mission. A leaked test score was supposed to end the debate. Instead, it started a revolution. Because numbers don't fly in Arctic blizzards, numbers don't operate from frozen highway strips, and numbers don't win wars when your jets are grounded waiting for American spare parts. Should Canada trust the test scores or trust their pilots' real-world experience? Drop your opinion below, and subscribe because this decision will reshape NATO's entire future. You won't want to miss what happens next.